Hello everybody, welcome to a Battle Brothers video on my favorite perk in the entire game, Taunt. It has been a while since I've done a kind of a little analysis video. School has been pretty rough, but I decided to bring it back with Taunt. Taunt is something I have not talked officially about, but I have, used Taunt in basically all my gameplay videos. And I've talked about it a lot on the channel in passing. I will link a video in the description called How I Used Rotate and Taunt Offensively. It's about an 11-minute gameplay fighting about 20-something mercenaries, and I use Taunt and Rotate really effectively in offensive roles as opposed to defensive roles, which many people think they are only good for. And I think it proves how Taunt is so much better than a lot of people give it credit for. Now, is this video hyperbole? Clickbait? Taunt, my favorite perk in the game? No. I actually think Taunt is my favorite perk. Does that mean it's synonymous with it is the best perk? No. I think there are some perks out there that are more like Colossus. I take Colossus on practically everybody. I take Berserk on basically every single damage dealer. Killing Frenzy on every single damage dealer. Underdog on every frontliner. Brawny on every Battleforge dude. So there's perks that I would use more and are more integral to a lot of different builds than Taunt is. But I think Taunt is up there with perks like Polearm spec, or Quick Hands or Adrenaline, like kind of like fun perks that really do something unique. And I love them for that. Those are perks that are not just kind of like, Brawny gives you more stam. Brawny's a fantastic A1 perk, but it really just gives you more stam. Taunt is something different. So today, I want to talk about 5 big reasons why Taunt is really, really fucking good. And we're going to put some gameplay in throughout. Some of this might be on my old mic. Just really good examples from back when I had the old trashy mic. So I apologize for the lower mic quality. But some of those, especially the 30 Chosen fight, I thought were just apt for this video. So, let's take a look at Taunt. Taunt unlocks the Taunt skill. Alright, we got that part. Unlocks the Taunt skill, which makes the targeted opponent take offensive actions instead of defensive ones, and attack the taunting character over another, potentially more vulnerable one. So, there's also a part about resolve that isn't stated, and I don't entirely understand it. It's like having higher resolve makes the enemies more likely to work with the taunt. I don't really get that. Because I've used taunt on low resolve brothers and high resolve brothers, and I haven't noticed a difference. And sometimes some enemies will, some enemies are more finicky than others. Sometimes on Necro Savants, this used to be an old issue, like months and months ago, like maybe back in August of 2020, where Necro Savants would sometimes just break taunt entirely for a fight, but then you could reload the fight and it would work again. I haven't had that issue much, but I just want to get that out there, just preemptively. Sometimes nomads with whips, the whip guys specifically used to not work with taunt, but now I think they have since the disarm nerf. Yeah, sometimes I'd say 92% of the time, that's a really great estimate, taunt will work as you want it to. And when it doesn't, it's usually not detrimental. It can be annoying, but it's not going to kill your character. But taunt, overall, regardless of the resolve of your character, of your bro, seems to work. And on my mammoths, this guy's got 75 resolve, this guy's got 70 resolve, this guy's got 70 resolve. I use taunt on my mammoths, my tanks, my megas, whatever you want to call them, and it basically works for them, just fine. And they have anywhere from 50 to 70 resolve. So do not worry about. I would not worry about taunt failing. I wouldn't not get taunt because it fails, once in every 58 tries or whatever, stupid number like that. So getting into the 5 reasons why you want to take taunt. Well, taunt. Clearly, number 1 is it directs attacks onto mammoths from other bros. So, let's look at the mammoth. 71 melee defense. Let's look at the guy next to him. 45, 26, 35, 31. You know who I'd rather get hit? The guy with 71. Always. You always want your mammoths tanking hits. That's what they're for. You don't want it to, you know, the Orc Berserker with the Mansplitter. Or even the fucking Hedge Knight with the Noble Sword. Like, whatever it is. You just don't want them hitting these dudes because the odds are higher. Especially if an enemy has Fearsome, like an Ancient Undead or a Fallen Hero. Or whatever else have you. If it's a dangerous weapon, you just want it attacking the mammoth. So you taunt the enemy with the bill hook or whatever. If it's the billman, or I don't know, anything with a backline unit, you just taunt them. My turn then. He got stunned. He's out. Let's see what happens. We definitely need to stun both of these dudes here. We're gonna gamble. Nice. That was huge. How do I get through that? What's the Herc rolls on a 13? Awesome, dude. Because what we do now is he can still go forward, but he can't rotate and pull some shit. Like, he can't, like, he'd have to move up one. This guy would have to rotate him in. Like, that's just not happening. And then we're gonna taunt there. And then hit him again. Yes, good. Taunt is winning this fight. When people say taunt is bad, you just show them this video. We don't like to see that. Oh, good. Taunt. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's fucking go, dude. Holy shit. Alright, so what did we took? What did we take there? We took one little bit. We took one big hit there. That was the only notable hit we took the entire game. I guess he took one hit from the Barb King. I guess he took one hit from the champion, and I guess he took a hit somewhere. But that really wasn't that bad. That was pretty good. So that's the primary purpose of Taunt, is to direct dangerous attacks from dangerous enemies onto the mammoths, who will be able to tank hits because they're in mega fucking battle forged, ultra battle forged, with additional fur padding, and they're likely not even going to get hit anyway, and they have a shit ton of HP. Like, you know, these guys aren't going to die. Even if they take a Mansplitter to the fucking face, they're not going to die, especially if they're indoming. So that's the main reason you take Taunt. But that's a defensive only reason to take Taunt. And Taunt is actually also an offensive perk. If you only use Taunt defensively, it's a waste. Taunt is also an offensive perk that can be used to win fights more quickly. Why? Point number 2. Taunt lowers and prevents enemies from shield walling. You know, if an enemy has to take offensive actions and attack you, it's not shield walling. Where is this useful? Ancient Undead is the fucking big one. Ancient Undead don't shield wall. Noblemen don't shield wall. Southern armies don't shield wall. Nomads don't shield wall. Mercenaries don't shield wall, and they have overwhelm. Enemies who in the arena, they don't shield wall, whatever fucking enemy that would be. I don't know what's left. Anything else with a shield doesn't shield wall. So you get higher chances to hit, which is an offensive use. You're lowering that enemy's defense, and you're having them attack the mammoth, so that's another plus. And so you can win the fights more quickly. You lower it if an enemy is already shield walling, or you can prevent it. So you need to taunt that, you need to taunt that guy's probably... This guy, stay here, because if they hit him, that's totally fine. Good, stunned for 2 turns. Fantastic. If I taunt him, he might be able to move up. That's okay. Yeah, and we moved in. Alright. We do actually want to nuke the crossbow. Not much we can really do there, which is annoying. Triple overwhelm against the shield. Let's see how this works. 35 is pretty bad. Alright, well, we're certainly taunting both of these two. I didn't have to taunt that mountain. That was kind of a waste. We kind of can. Alright, now we have 64s to hit. That's really strong. Now, number 3. This is kind of a mix of 1 and 2. Is you can bring enemies into certain positions. So if an enemy is already adjacent to a mammoth, they will attack that mammoth with all of their AP. Whether 2 4 AP attacks or 1 6 AP attack. But Taunt is so cool that it works from multiple tiles away. 3 tiles away, actually. So if an enemy is 2 tiles away and has a 4 AP attack weapon, you can taunt them, they will move 2 tiles forward, and then attack the mammoth. So, they don't have shield wall, they've moved into zone of control of the mammoth, and probably other bros as well, And they're not walking towards weaker bros. You know, they're not walking towards this guy or this guy. They're walking towards the mammoth. So and then they're trapped on the mammoth. So next time you can taunt them again. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna taunt you. I'm gonna taunt you. Alright, that's fine. 9 lives. And you are gonna taunt these two. So I'm going to try and disarm. And taunt. And taunt. Alright. Here we go. This is a scary fight, and I wouldn't take Necro Savant fights until late in the game when you have Taunt. If you don't have Taunt, I would never take a Necro Savant only fight. And if you have fights that include a couple of Necro Savants, that could be okay, but you have to focus them. You cannot let Necro Savants just kind of like live. That is like a super, super bad idea. You heard it here first. Super bad. So forcing movement is incredibly useful for some enemies. You know, Necro Savants, they, instead of attacking twice or going onto a weak bro, they have to use half of their AP to fly towards the mammoth. Then they have 1 attack left to hit the mammoth, which they're probably not going to do. They won't bleed him for sure because he's got, you know, Ultra Battle Forged. So you force the movement of the Necro Savant. Number 2 is something like an Orc Young or an Orc Berserker when they charge stun. You charge stun the mammoth. The mammoth doesn't care because he's not attacking. He likely can just, you know, taunt, pass his turn, get stunned, then he doesn't actually lose his turn because he loses the past half of his turn, which is, you know, like 1 AP left or 5 AP left or whatever the hell that ends up being. So you force the movement again onto the mammoth there, so they can't charge stun again. They didn't charge stun anyone important, and then they attack the mammoth, so they don't actually end up hitting somebody else. So that's a huge plus. Tip number 4 is, you know, you force those attacks, which is a point number 1. You direct the attacks onto the mammoths. But you force attacks, and sometimes you actually want to force attacks. You force attacks instead of other actions. Like if an assassin has a bomb, a grenade, he won't use it. He'll use his dagger or his shamshir. If you have an Orc Warlord, they will use the punch or the attack if they have... You know, the Mansplitter is scary, but maybe you don't want the cry to rally the orcs, so you can just use the punch instead. Enemies will attack instead of breaking nets. If you're fighting a big Nacho, the tier 3 Nacho, and you taunt it, it will eat the mammoth instead of eating the DPS guy next to him. And why is that important? Because the mammoth doesn't do enough damage to kill the Nachos, but the DPS guy does. So you lose the mammoth, who you already don't really care about losing at that point because the Nacho's on your team. It does suck. But I'd rather lose the mammoth than the guy with the great axe, because the guy with the great axe can free the mammoth with about a turn or 2. There's probably other things that I'm not quite thinking of right now, but, you know, forcing these attack actions instead of these other actions that you don't really want, and this is independent of shield wall. Shield wall fits here, but that's its own point. But, you know, there's many things that you would really want in terms of attacks, because you attack a mammoth on like a 10% chance, you're likely not going to do anything. But, you know, a net will always work. I don't know, if an enemy shield walls, that's always going to work. If they shield bash, that has a higher percent chance of working. There's, I don't know, kind of quick hands sort of things. There's a lot of things that you'd rather just have them attack on and miss. I'm going to taunt the assassins. So by taunting them, they will swing at me, and they won't overwhelm. And then, by getting them on me, they will not grenade. And then they will overwhelm this dude, which means the overwhelm goes on to a guy who's already not swinging, so it doesn't... Alright. They are going to grenade me, though. These 3 are going to pull some grenade bullshit. Oh, they didn't. Yep, there we go. They got dazed, which is annoying. Firebomb. See, we were just talking about this. I don't want to run into the archers and get, like, stunned. That's a waste. Oh, we pull out a stupid grenade. Ugh, of course. There we go. See, the entire team is dazed, except for 1, 2, 3 people. 2 of them are mammoths. Point number 5, and this is also important, and is what's shown in the video I'm linking at the bottom, how to use it taunt offensively, is taunt forces overwhelm onto mammoths instead of your DPS brothers. in mammoths, this guy right here has got 53 melee skill. You know what he's not going to hit? Anything. You overwhelm this guy's melee attack? Do not care. This guy with the 100, he can hit things. If you debuff him down to 80, I do care. But this guy's already not even attacking. He doesn't even attack. So why do I give a shit if he's overwhelmed? I don't. So you overwhelm the mammoths, take the overwhelm off of the other guys, and then you win. We're taunting. We're taunting. Fucking fantastic. Okay. Good. By taunting the bill hooks, what I'm doing is I'm making the mammoth overwhelmed. I do not give a shit about that because he's not swinging anyway. Alright. Alright, now we're gonna rotate. We're gonna taunt this guy. He gets 2 attacks even with his fist. So that's double overwhelm. So if we taunt here, that's fine. So these are the 5 big O ways to use taunt. I just want to say another little caveat again that taunt sometimes fails to work, but do not let this distract you. But overall, I hope you found this video helpful. If anyone tells you taunt is a bad perk, refer them to me, or refer them to this video, or use these arguments yourself to prove how taunt is a beast mode fucking perk. It's amazing on all your mammoths. It's what they're there for. I hope you found this video helpful, entertaining, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.